Hi there! In this video, we're going to focus on two frequent types of language exercises, which are matching and multiple choice. Off we go! As a first step, I'd like you to download the 2018 test. You'll find the link to it below the video. Then, take 2 minutes to have a look at exercises 2 and 3 in the language part. By the way, we have already dealt with exercise 1 of this exam in another video. Check it out later on if you haven't done that yet. But for the time being, pause this video and read through exercises 2 and 3 as agreed. When you finish, come back and watch the explanation of the correction, okay? All right, we're back. Let's first deal with the matching exercise.
Here are the instructions. We have to match the sentence parts in column A, which are in order, with those in column B, to get a coherent paragraph. It's also mentioned that there is one extra part in column B. And of course, you have to write your answers in the space provided.
So, that was for the instruction. The next thing to do is to read the sentence parts carefully and try to understand what the paragraph is about. Don't worry if you find words that you don't know. Just do your best to get the main idea. Then, focus on matching the parts with their completion. You need to pay attention both to the grammatical structure and the meaning of the sentence.
For example, the first part of sentence 1 is, more elephants are killed every day. Which of the sentence parts in column B do you think is the perfect match? Well, I think we all agree that we can't say more elephants are killed every day an elephant is, because this simply doesn't make sense. What about B? Let's see. More elephants are killed every day than are born. This sounds fine. Besides, there is an indication in the first part that we are comparing two things. And as you know, after more, there is most often the word than. So the first answer is 1 plus B. Anyway, if you check the rest of the parts in column B, you'll see that they definitely cannot be matched with this sentence part. Fine, let's move on to number 2. Their biggest threat is humans. Look, A, C, and D are not the right answers because neither the meaning nor the sentence structure are correct. It's rather E which is the suitable answer. It begins with the relative pronoun who. And as you know, who refers to a person. Actually, who hands them for ivory is a relative clause that gives us information about humans. Great! Let's now proceed to the next sentence part. If such behavior continues, future generations will never know what. After reading the parts left in column B, we can confidently say that the correct answer is A. Try to read the sentence using it. If such behavior continues, future generation will never know what an elephant is. Perfect. Finally, 4. Governments and organizations ought to. Do you remember the rule? What should we have after ought to? The base form. The only alternative in column B that starts with the base form is C. Okay, so we managed to find out all the answers. But before writing our answers in the space provided on the test paper, we need to read the paragraph at least another time to check that all sentences make sense and that grammatically speaking, everything is correct. And there you are.
You see, it's not that difficult. I'm sure that you can always manage to do matching exercises in less than 5 minutes. All right, now time to focus on the last exercise. As you can see, it's a multiple choice exercise. You have to complete the paragraph by choosing each time from a list of 3 alternatives. I'd just like to tell you that the tips we mentioned before apply here too. So for instance, You evidently have to read the instruction carefully. Then, read the paragraph a first time to get the main idea. Don't worry if you encounter unfamiliar words. You can still find the correct answers by applying some of the strategies that you learned in class, like understanding the word from its context, analyzing the structure of the sentence, and identifying the function of the missing word and the part of the speech it belongs to, etc. Finally, reread the whole paragraph and check that your answers fit in before writing them on the test paper. And of course, don't forget to manage your time appropriately. All these tips are of a great help when dealing with the different language tasks. Let's use them to do exercise 3.
The paragraph starts as follows. I can remember my first day of school like it was yesterday. I didn't need waking up to my alarm clock. Since there is the verb need, here the right option is the second, to wake, because we say need to do something. Let's continue reading. I was so excited that I couldn't wait to meet my new teacher. The sentence is composed of two related parts. The first part expresses cause, and the second expresses result. In fact, there is a specific structure expressing this cause-result relationship, which is so plus adjective plus that. Since there is the adjective excited just after the provided options, and that is followed by that, the correct answer is therefore so. Good. Next, my mom dropped me off at school, making sure that everything was all right. I was very quiet at school. I was safe, shy, indifferent, and didn't know who to talk to. From the context, and especially what has been said in the previous sentence about how quiet the speaker is, we understand that the appropriate adjective is shy. Then my school year went by fast. And here, 10 years later, I wish, imagine, want, I could go back to those days and not have a care in the world. Okay, so in this sentence, the subject is I. It's followed by a verb in the present. To decide which one of the provided verbs is the right one, we have to focus both on grammar and meaning. We can discard want because it's not grammatically correct to say, I want, I could go back to those days. As such, we are left with two options, wish and imagine. The meaning here helps us to decide. We are talking about a wish made by the speaker, so wish is definitely the right answer. All right, let's move on. I advised everyone to cherish those days. I is a subject here. We need a conjugated verb after it. Advice is not a possible alternative since it's a noun. Advised is also not suitable here because the speaker is talking now in the present moment as mentioned in the previous sentence, whereas advised is in the past. The correct answer is therefore advise. Okay, last gap now. I advise everyone to cherish those days because if you don't, then you will regretted it. This is the conditional. We have an if clause, followed by the main clause. The verb right after if is in the simple present. So, the verb in the main clause must be in the future. This is the conditional type 1. You studied in module 4. The if clause states the condition and the main clause states the result. In other words, the speaker says that if you don't cherish your school days now, the result of this is that you will regret it in the future. Good, you understood that the only possible answer here is will regret. Right, so we found all the correct answers and wrote them on the draft paper. Awesome, but before circling them on the test paper, we have to reread the paragraph and check that it makes sense. Once we are sure everything is fine, we must circle the answers using a pen. And please bear in mind that if in the instruction you are asked to circle the right option, you must do as mentioned. This means that you cannot, for example, circle two options at the same time, just as you cannot underline or rewrite the correct ones.
With these remarks, we reach the end of the video. We hope it will help you get better prepared for the exam. Good luck!